Well, hello there. I think we're live. Are we live, Derek? Are we live? Don't know. We shall find out. Oh, I think we're live. I think we're live. Haven't done this for a while, so I'm a little bit out of practice, and I'm not using StreamYard because I'm still getting to grips with that particular software. But it's nice to be here live. Um, I am alive. I've just seen Simon's comment. Yes, I'm alive. Yeah. So good evening, everybody. I don't know how many we've got on here yet, but I'm sure people will filter in gradually throughout the evening. I've not really got topics as such tonight. Just going to have a bit of a catch up, chit chat, and I'll try and start doing live streams once a month again. Oh, I was going to do one about 2 weeks ago, but that was right before the Chiltern Hills Rally, and things were a little bit busy, shall we say. So yeah, finally here, and we'll try and do one once a month. We'll try and do one at the unit at some point, but I'm not overly confident with the mobile Wi-Fi Dewberry flip-flop thing we've got up there. But let's see who we've got in the chat so far. You'll have missed me having to do this to actually read the comments. Simone is here saying, how do? How do, Simone? I'm doing very well. Nice that you're here. Smashing Piston is here. Simon very directly asking, who does a guy have to bonk to get a G&T around here? I'll get back to you on that. Stickman Matt is here. I'm just going to quickly do something. There we are. Good evening, Matt. People saying hello to one another. Ian is here. Scragnut. Good evening, Ian. Very nice to see you. A week and a half ago, is it? I've lost track of time. It is a week and a half ago, isn't it? Where else have we got? Barry Scrotter is here. Well, hello there, Barry Scrotter. Simon pitches in. No fluffing or warm up whatsoever. Rob, that's me. Tell us your favourite colour Rover. If we're speaking purely Rover, then it would have to be. It's probably got to be Wedgwood Blue on a 75, I'd have thought, or Primrose Yellow, but they don't see that many of those. So if I saw a Primrose Yellow 75, ideally a 2 or 2.5 V6, I would probably be there. Although I've got too many 75 or ZT cars really at the moment. If it was MG, then it's got to be X Power Grey, because I know how much you love that colour, Simon. Julie is here. Well, hello there, Julie. Pingu Concord is here. It's nice to be here. Thank you very much. And Barry is here. And Barry can't stay long. He's working in Washington State at the moment. Well, there we are. Matt says that Gentleman Jack is £20 a bottle in Tesco's. I've got no idea. Is Gentleman Jack a whiskey or a rum or something? I'm not drinking in the weeks. I'm on my homemade ginger beer, which is very good. Well, I suspect this particular batch may have become alcoholic. I'm not sure. It's very gingery. I put far too much ginger in it, but I like ginger. Yeah, I'll be sipping that. But yeah, if someone could tell me what Gentleman Jack is, I'd appreciate it. Where did we get to? Barry can see Mount St Helens from the hotel window. The mountain that, of course, the volcano that, of course, erupted in 1981, something like that. and Pingu drops a massive hint to me. Old England white is starting to appeal to me. So, as you know, I'll explain what Pingu means by that. So, um, as most of you may have seen, what was it? Last Tuesday, I went up to Stamford, which is near Peterborough, uh, and collected a Rover 25 Commerce van in Old English white, which some kind or poor soul thought it would be a good idea to paint the bonnet black with what looks like a very thin misting of just hammerite off the shelf. And young Austin spotted someone breaking a Old English white 25 down in the south, and I thought I haven't got time to get down there. I'm going to ask someone a favour. So, dear Mr. Pingu went off to collect these panels for me, and I need to come and see him to get them. So, I will message you privately about that, Pingu. But that was very kind. It just goes to show what a wonderful, wonderful thing, and yeah, what a wonderful thing the car community is, because you got all these people all over the country, and I know, Simon's been great. He's collected two exhausts for me. Ironically, I then gave one of the exhausts back to him, or sold it back to him, to put on Jenny. But yeah, but isn't it great? These people who break cars are very impatient, and I get it. You've got a car that you can't take anywhere because it's got no MOT or no wheels or whatever reason you're breaking it. And maybe breaking cars should be a topic. So give in the comments, maybe put what you think about breaking cars, because I've got my own thoughts on it, but I don't want to colour your thoughts by saying what I think straight away. But yeah, but I know people do like to get the cars broken and gone to make space. I think I said in a recent video, space is key. But anyway, car community, wonderful. Thank you, Pingo. We'll sort that out. Don't worry, haven't forgotten about it. Pingo says hello to Matt. Simon says it's a good base color, not with rattle can hammerite. It's a Jack Daniels whiskey, right? Okay, I strenuously avoid Jack Daniels, having had a bad experience with it when I was about 19. Yeah, triples weren't a good idea. They really weren't. Barry Scrotter. So Simon also thinks it's whiskey. Barry Scrotter joins in the whiskey conversation by saying, Lidl's own whiskey will have to do me for now. LOL. Actually, I haven't tried the Lidl's own whiskey, but I've tried the Aldi's own single malt, and it was very, very good price and very, very enjoyable, I have to say. I'm trying to drink less. I guess if I'm being open and honest, my mental health probably wasn't in a very good place for quite some time after my father passed away, and it's sort of taken me quite a long time to kind of get out of it. And I think I was probably, rather than doing the right thing and going to doctors or talking to someone, I just didn't. I wouldn't say I hit the bottle, because I'm never been a massive drinker. But yeah, I probably was drinking a little more than was good for me after my father died, which I guess is understandable, but not a long-term solution. So I really am trying to cut down on the old booze now, and I do feel better for it. I've got more energy, and I'm kind of jumping out of bed at 5:30 every morning, pretty much without an alarm clock, which is quite nice. Which and good, because I can get on with my day job and then get on with car stuff in the evenings and still have lots of energy, Woo, go me. I've got to go to sleep now. Um, moving back to the comments, Barry says that, yep, I'm in Alaska next week. Got to go to Valdez. Prepare to freeze me nuts off. I guess Alaska's cold all year round. So it's cold in the summer and bloody cold or effing cold in the winter. Um, Ian says that Marley the Chihuahua seems to be fascinated by the guitar on the wall. I do need to pick that up and start playing it again. 'Cause I do enjoy it. I don't think I've really played it properly since one of the lockdowns. Um, yeah, maybe we can have a silly song, and that can be broadcast live to YouTube for people to laugh at me. But good old Marley, there's the guitar Marley. If you watched a Crankcases episode, that's actually Ernest's mother's guitar as well. Although I do believe Ernest may have dried one of his G strings on it. Simon says, "Oh yeah, volcano eruption. That's when the Earth blows its head gasket. It is basically, yeah. And all the mayonnaise isn't engine jam color. Red, molten, and hot. It's very peculiar. I guess the big engine as well, given that there's so much heat in that fluid that comes out of the Earth's block. And Pingu very sharply says Earth Jam. It is Earth Jam. Yeah. Oh, this is what you've got to get. You see, I haven't done it for ages, and I'm back to old habit straight away. Completely buggering up where I am with the comments. This is why I've got to start using Streamyard. Where did we get to? Where did we get to? Barry Scrotter asks a question. What's everyone's thoughts on putting stick-on soundproofing on a plastic engine under tray, apart from the increase in weight? Well, I will let everyone answer that in due course. Yeah, I don't know why you put it on the under tray because it's not that sounds going to kind of hopefully go down, but we'll see what other people say. Matt's all for soundproofing. Simon also thinks it wouldn't make much difference. But Matt says he drives a Streetwise. I think Streetwise is lovely and quiet. I mean, Penny's really quiet. So Barry's going to explain for anyone who doesn't know. Barry works for Pinkertons, and I get sent around the country to check on offices and so on. I have to wait for clearance a lot, so I end up hiking. Sounds good. Sounds interesting. Traveling all around these parts of the USA. Simon asked, "What about Paul Daniels? Any experience with him?" No, although as you know, Simon, I did enjoy the children's program Whizbit when I was a child. Hup Ha This Away. Yeah, I know you've got a thing for Whizbit as well. Barry says to Matt, "I'm hoping it has some effect because the other stuff was full of oil and diesel, like a sponge wrapped in plastic, if that makes sense." It makes perfect sense. Barry likes a nice Glenfiddich and Jack Daniels vodka. I drink Stolly 100 proof. Not all at the same time. That sounds like a hell of a cocktail. If you, I don't know what you call that. I don't know, something headbanger, not a wall banger, a headbanger. Yeah, goodness, Barry. Simone's answer to breaking cars, perhaps controversially, given one of my recent purchases, is every single BMW Mini. I was going to come and see Simone this year, and I still will, but it's probably best I don't take Henry. Yeah, I don't think Simone's going to want to drive that. We'll take something else. It's probably a good idea. Barry Scrotter's going to let Simon know when he fits it. Matt says, "I'm about to make a milky coffee." Oh, milky coffee reminds me of my grandmother. She was a milky coffee fetishist, and have a Belgian bun. They're lovely. So anyone who is considering the need of moderation for the next 10 minutes, don't. We will. Hopefully, this chat will moderate itself. Uh, Pingu has broken 50 odd cars in the last few years. Usually, MOT failed rust buckets that are not worth fixing, but many parts usable to keep other 90s nuggets on the road. I yeah. Um yeah, I don't like breaking cars, but sometimes you have to. If a car's too far gone, but it's got enough salvageable bits and bobs on it, to keep another car going, then I think it's a good thing because especially MG Rover stuff and other marks as well. There's some panels, bits and bobs that are either not available or like golden rocking horse poo. Um, and I think just sometimes a car is too far gone. It's not economically viable to repair it. And I really think it's a good thing. So, for example, I'll give you an example. Austin is breaking a ZR. He's pretty much broken it, but he's keeping some of the panels for me because whilst Bram's not a basket case, I want to kind of get ahead of the curve with him. And the boot mount. So, for those of you who know Rover R3 chassis, the bubbles where the boot hinges sit, that people in the past, they lift their boot too far, the seam sealer breaks, water gets in through the seam sealer and it starts rotting out that panel, which is basically four sheets crimped into one to make a very strong section for the boot to sit on. And Brams is gone. Someone's obviously wrenched the boot up in the past, so we're going to use that section because this ZR that's was no good. Gonna be good for that. So if breaking a car saves another car and it's done with that intention, I think it's a really good thing. And it's a very good way to earn a bit of money. Where's me comments? Oh God, what have I done here? Barry sympathises with me about something. I'm guessing that's the ludicrous amounts of Jack Daniels. Mark is here. Good evening, all, says Mark. Good evening, Mark. It's nice to have you on live stream. It's been a while since we've had a Beards and Bangers live stream. Matt doesn't really drink often, and Gentleman Jack is meant to be rather mild for a whiskey, so it's more suitable for me, hopefully. Well, let us know how you get on. Matt bought a guitar and got a meter to make it left-handed. If anyone wants it, then let me know and I'll bring it to a show. Well, I'm guessing you got your mate to make it left-handed, not a meter. It's quite a long that fretboard on a guitar. But yeah, interesting. Left hand, just like Paul McCartney himself, except with probably better hair. Barry Scrotter does approve of the breaking of cars that aren't coming back. They keep others going. Yeah, yeah. Julie, good evening, Julie. I'm not sure if this is your first comment. Apologies if I've missed you saying hello. Julie, don't drink booze, but I'm still not getting up at 5 a.m. Fair enough. I'm just a bit nuts. Simon gets guitars are mentioned. Simon gets excited. What is it, Matt? So, Matt, tell Simon what it is. Pingu says when his mum died, me and my dad had a little whiskey nightcap every night for a few weeks to help get to sleep. Yeah, it's you got to do what you got to do, and yeah, a little tot of whiskey is very relaxing. Yeah, it's a yeah. I think the I still got my mum. She's quite sprightly. Yeah, but I think the first parent, I guess, is worse. I know I was given that advice by a sage, uh, not a sage plant, because sage plants don't talk unless you're the king. Um, but yeah, someone said to me, first one's worse. I guess the second one's not great, but it's yeah, it's still weird, and it's oh, I wish I could. Oh, I could. Oh, I can't ask my dad that because he's not here. Um, and my dad could weld anything to anything. He could weld cast iron very well, and I need that. I won't say why, but it's old Austin 12 related. Um, yes, Matt's Matt's converted guitar is a black acoustic. Very nice. Um, and Barry says to Julie that I'm a madman. Yeah, 5 a.m. That's my bedtime. Goodness me. If I'm in bed past 10 o'clock, I start getting a bit worried. Simon Streetwise is super quiet. He's either referring to his shares in Hope. Excuse me. That ginger beer is definitely alcoholic. That's definitely alcoholic. I don't feel sloshed. I just feel I've only had one little glass, but I feel slightly, yeah, relaxed. Oh well, I'm probably doing it a bit wrong. Um, where did we get to? Matt did try, but I'm basically back to front from the raggy dolls, and my fingers don't do guitaring. Well, if your fingers don't get to do guitaring, they're probably good for something else. Enough of that smut. My smutometer will start uh, actually attacking myself by doing that. Pingu has stuck sound deadening to the underside of my bonnet. Didn't make much difference, to be honest. I think sound deadening is good on the floor and the. I think you can put sound deadening if you're replacing your headlining. Um, I think you can. There's this adhesive sound deadening that you can stick to the roof of the car before you refit your headlining. So you got there's plenty of space, plenty of depth up there to do that. So I think floor bulkhead, sorry, and roof are probably the places I would put it. 'Cause that's really, I would guess, the only place it matters. God, engine under the bonnet. I mean, I've bought so many cars that should have some lining under the bonnet, but don't. I just don't worry about it personally. But it depends what you want out of your car, of course. Simon carries on the Whizbit thing. Whizbit, oh my, oh my. I've had an idea for a video, Simon. I'll message you after. Message you after. Um, oh God, I've jumped the comments again. My fingers are just sausagey when it comes to using this. It's a touchscreen. What do they call it? A Surface Pro or something like that. Yeah, I just find it easier to use my thumb on the comments, but then I press somewhere, it goes. Poof, they all go down to the bottom, and then I forget where I am. Simon encourages Matt to stick with the guitar. Yeah, your fingers do get used to. When you first start, your ends of your fingers get really sore from pressing down the string, particularly with a steel string um, guitar. But you do get used to it after a while. There we are. Scratch and Dent. Good evening to you. I've not seen you before on a live stream, but very very warm welcome to you. And Scratch and Dent asks me, "Hi, well, hello there. Can I ask what car started your hobbies of cars on YouTube?" So my hobbies of cars goes back way before YouTube, like uh, tw- 20 years, 30 years. I don't know. 15, I started messing with cars. But yeah, so I started YouTube just over 2 years ago. So it would have been, yeah, May 22. And my first car that I videoed was my ZR, but I videoed it the day the buyer was coming to collect it. So there was only one video on that car. So the next car that I I started doing YouTube, but didn't really take it that seriously at first, and wasn't uploading regularly, sort of leaving, oh, I'll do another video, leaving it a month later. So I think there's a Fiat 500, a Fiat Panda 4x4. That was one of the early ones. Husley. So Husley is my MGZT 190 in royal blue, which is my baby. So that car I rescued from not just outside Nottingham, and it had been parked up for 2 years. So brakes, exhaust, headlining, sills, various other bits and bobs were non-existent. And sort of between June 22 and I don't know when did he really start to come together? Probably spring last year. I did some bits. AGF Motor Engineers have done a lot of the work on it. Um, so Husley's like the kind of, I guess, the one that's had the most content. But it was my MGZR in X Power Grey that started the YouTubes off. So yeah, if you go in my video list and look for that video, it's terrible. It's the sound's awful. I had a what was I using? Cheap uh, action camera with an inbuilt microphone that you would not want to listen to the sound from. I had a wired microphone with no muffle on it at all. It just sounds awful, but I didn't care at the time. If I made that video now and it sounded like I wouldn't even publish it. But you kind of, I think you, unless I get my gut feeling is unless you are from you know, that kind of background where you've done media production or camera work or some kind of photography, something professional or educational around making videos and editing videos, you can kind of just breeze straight into it. My IT skills are non-existent, so I'm learning as I go. Hopefully you can appreciate that. But anyway, thanks for your question, and nice to have you here, Scratch and Dent. Um, Barry Scrotter says something to ping you about some other padding, and he's bought some other padding now. Barry SETI Alpha 5 says Joe at JC on cars probably has a few opinions on braking cars, especially in relation to boaty. Lol. Okay, I don't know Joe that well, so I will ask him at some point. Um, uh, Simon, this is good. So you will. I've watched this video because young Simon from the channel Smashing Pistons became a YouTube partner last week. I think it was last week. So last week was a bit of a blur because I was quite fatigued after the Chiltern Hills Rally. We must talk about the Chiltern Hills Rally in a minute. So those of you who were at the Chiltern Hills Rally, and I know that Simon, Matt, Pingu, Ian, maybe one other was there. So tell us what you think of it. Be honest, because we actually will have a meeting next week or the week after next to kind of collate the feedback. So we want to know anything that went well. We want to know anything that can be improved. Um, so yeah, if you were there or if you've watched, didn't really do a video on the show on the day itself because I was too busy. But Simon's done an excellent video. Joseph Lloyd's done his usual comprehensive shuffleage, and Dave the carp the carp car hunter, crap car hunter, has done a video with his alter ego. But yeah, um, completely gone off on a tangent there. Young Simon, young Simon from Smashing Pistons, is now a YouTube channel partner. So I was able to watch, and I'd never joined uh, a YouTube channel as a member before. So as soon as Simon was able to accept members, oh dear, I've rather made a Freudian slip there. As soon as Simon's channel had memberships available, um, I clicked yes, I'll have some of that. So I was able to watch Simon's carding shed video about an hour ago. So if you don't know Simon's channel, Smashing Pistons, have a look at it. Join as a member, and you can watch some of his videos. And the carding, I've been to the carding shed with Simon and Matt, and it's a really good place. Um, so yeah, I commend you. Check out that channel and get your 199 out and become a channel member. Um, anyway, going back to Simon's comment, rather than going off on massive tangents, I went to the carding shed today, and that gorgeous purple 911 is still there, and also that two-tone Rover. Yes, I remember the. I don't remember the gorgeous purple 911, but I do remember that two-tone Rover. That was it was a bit more tucked away, I think, from memory last year. That would have been it was pissing down with rain, so it must have been the summer that we were there. But yeah, that was there. That's an interest. I don't know what. It'd be nice to talk to someone and find out what they're doing with that Rover, because it's a Rover. Matt, don't disagree with the breaking of cars, but I don't see the point of scrapping them before giving folk the option of parts, especially when you're part of a community. Absolutely, absolutely. More on that later. Later, I mean, in the coming weeks. Yeah, Matt's absolutely spot on. Matt should get to the carding shed again. Nice day out around the area. Yeah, but don't go to the Holmfirth car show. Not so good. Oh bugger! I just jumped the comments again. Oh dear. Why do you watch this? I don't know. There we are. There we are. Simon thinks the next Smashing Pistons meetup should start or end there. Yeah, what a good place. Great for lunch. Very good beans on toast from memory. People saying hello and talking to one another. Ping says, speaking of breakers, I'm currently breaking a 3-door Streetwise if anyone needs parts. Right, well, mate, I think that's probably one that can go on if you're happy, Pingu, for Matt to put that on the year of the Streetwise group, because there's quite a good few members on that Facebook group now. It's done rather well, hasn't it? I'll let you and Matt and Pingu talk about that. Mark and Simon are saying hello to one another, which is lovely. Yeah, and RIP Streetwise indeed. Barry Seti Alpha's parents died when he was a kid. I hit the lager hard as a 14-year-old. It's why I drink spirits now. Yeah, I think spirits. I mean, spirit. I do like a Scotch whiskey, I have to say. Yeah, I get you. I feel you. But not in the Ernest Pickle sense. Ben Gardner is here. Good evening, Ben Gardner. Nice to hear. Nice that you're here. Nice to see you up at the Great British Car Journey. God, over a month ago, wasn't it? Six weeks ago, was it? Yeah, it was middle of April. We were there, 13th of April. Goodness me. Welcome, and I've now jumped the car. There they are. It's okay. Simon says Matt's fingers are ideal for a French horn. Perhaps we won't have language like that on this live stream. Thank you very much. And Matt says matron, which my sentiments exactly. Matt, sound deadening works by added mass to the metal, right? No idea. Mass metal. Question. Simon now poses a question. Would you rather have a Renault 5? Oh God. A Renault 5 GT Turbo or a 1.9 205? That is that's really hard question, Simon. How can you ask me that? Honestly. Um Ideally I'd have both. I've seen a couple of Renault 5 GT turbos recently. There's one in Aylesbury, um, and I saw another one somewhere, Rustival maybe, and I saw it again at another show a few weeks later. I think I would have to if could only have one. I would probably go with the Pug because I think 205s are it's just something I really like about them. It doesn't matter whether it's the 1.9 GTI, which is the one that I would aspire to, and I think many of you would aspire to. But do you remember the 205 XUDs? The really, I think they were naturally aspirated turbos, really agricultural, clattery sounding things. Yeah, I remember one of the farmers near here used to have one. It was always covered in it was a metallic blue, and it was always caked in mud. I bloody loved it. It was brilliant. Yeah, so Pug, gun to the head, Pug. If I could have a free choice, both. Matt's guitar is a Fender DG-5 BLK. Well, enough said about that. Pingu says X Power Greg. X Power Grey. I think that's yes. That's so Pingu. So Ben, if you're still here, Pingu's Streetwise is breaking his X Power or probably Tempest. It probably should be called Tempest Grey on a Streetwise, shouldn't it? But same color anyway. Yeah. Well, I can't remember the paint code. Although I should know that. Yeah. But Ben, if you want to get in touch with Pingu, you can do it through. I think you're on my Instagram and Facebook thingy-majig. So just ping me a message and I'll sort you guys out. Ian Scragnut says, and I'm saying people's handles just because delightfully there are people. So last time I did a live stream, there's people on this live stream that have never been on one of my live streams before, which is why I must do more because I'm obviously getting to know more and more people, which is lovely. And Ian Scragnut is a thoroughly lovely fellow, and we will spend some time together in Leicestershire very soon. But Ian says, my dad could play guitar and my son can play just about anything. It must have skipped generation as I can't play guitar at all. I did try. Well, at least you tried. But it's funny, isn't it? It's funny how some things do skip a generation. I'm trying to think of another example of something doing that. But one thing that hasn't skipped generation in my family is baldness. So yeah, my father's side, bald, all the way down. Yeah, all the same, all the same. But yeah, interesting, Ian. Yeah, these things do skip. Matt weighs in about the 205 versus Renault 5. I'd like a go in the 5 Turbo, but I'd own the 205. That's a good answer. I like that. So Ben's oh yeah, of course, Ben, your Streetwise is X Power Grey, isn't it, as well? Which I misidentified when I was talking to you, when I videoed the car, because for some reason the X Power Grey looks really different on a Streetwise because of you haven't got the body coloured bumpers and you've got all the trim, of course. So it's amazing how the Streetwise really changes the color. I think I saw a Goodwood Green ZR at Pole Not Pole, Great British Car Journey, and it just looks so different. I was like, "Is that British Racing Green? Is it Le Mans Green? Is it Goodwood? Is the Streetwise changes color somehow, or changes the perception of color to me?" But I don't know if Matt Dickens has joined us yet, but he knows that I'm useless with colours. Yes. Anyway, Simon, who's a bit of a muso, says to Ian that he goes off playing them then gets really into it again. I used to have so many pedals, but I've sold a few. You can't, you shouldn't have too many pedals. It's, dangerous to have too many pedals. I'm going to have a little slurp of ginger beer. That is potent. It's interesting. Maybe I shouldn't be giving it to other people yet. Woo! A lot of ginger in that. Where did we get to? Where did we get to? Simon says no muff. Oh, Mick Muff. Panic. Yeah. Alex isn't here, so the muff jokes just don't quite have the same resonance, really. Pingu hopes that he'll be able to resurrect his Sonic Blue Streetwise with the help of 2 breakers. Yeah, if it saves, especially a Sonic Blue Streetwise, it's quite a rare color. So yeah, save it, Pingu. Try and save it. So Matt goes on to this thing, me starting YouTube do-breedness. So when you started YouTubering and got no muff, but now you have muff aplenty. I do. I've got little muffs that I just keep under there, just under this muff here. Um, um, Simon weighs in as my friend, YouTube colleague, and comedy partner. Well, we I say he's my comedy partner, and what we do, whereas the crankcases might not actually be comedy; it could just be utterly ridiculous. And do you know what? If you think it's utterly ridiculous, then good, because quite frankly, that's what it is, and it's meant to be. Anyway, so Simon says, I see 60 folks are watching. I think there's a 17 now, actually, if I'm looking at these numbers right. Don't be shy, folks. Say hi. Ask Rob a question, please. If you're here and you haven't asked a question, please do. Please do. Barry SETI Alpha 5 is heading out. Good to see you all. Good to see you too, Barry, and hopefully see you again soon. Ben, Ben brings up another topic of great import, which we will talk about now. Ben Gardner is looking forward to the 10th of July, Beachwise. So, as part of the year of the Streetwise festivities, Mr. Harrison, also known as Stickman, has come up with this brilliant idea of rocking up at South. I've got to get this right. Southport. I don't want to say Stockport because I know one's inland and one's not. So it's the one that's on the sea, and it's got a massive beach that you can park on. So if I'm thinking of it right, it's that sort of stretch of coast from the Wirral to up all the way up to kind of Morecambe and Barrow in Furness, where there's a lot really big beaches, big wide expanses of sand, and we're going to park. It doesn't have to. It's called Beachwise because it is 2024 year of the Streetwise. Obviously, only people who've been living under a rock would not know that. But yeah, we're going to get as many. I'm not going to be in my Streetwise because I'm going to be doing a bit of a loop up north and then down to the West Midlands. So I'll be in Husley. But if we can get as many Streetwises there as possible, that would be epic. The other thing I need to mention is the Zev Register's post Abingdon Weekender, because I've been asked to help with the Rover Owners Club bit and also kind of tag the year of the Streetwise onto that. And I meant to look up the dates of that before this live stream and didn't. So if anyone knows the dates of the post Abingdon Weekender, then do please pop it in the comments. We'll come back to it. But yeah, I'm hoping for that weekend, sometime in August. I think part of it's in Gloucestershire and part of it might be in Warwickshire, but don't quote me on that. I'll put messages out on the various Facebook groups, the numerous Facebook groups. So post Abingdon Weekender. Yeah, that's going to be good. Lost my train of thought. Yeah, trying to think of too many things at once. Been so long, I've got all this stuff to say, but I don't want to kind of just go because then you wouldn't take it in. But Ben, it's good that you're looking forward to Beachwise. Simon bids Barry farewell. And I've really jumped the comments and seen we've got some other folks. So if you have joined and put a comment and I haven't got to it yet, I will get to it. Hello, well, hello there to you. I will get to you shortly. It's just nice to just chat and catch up. I didn't come with topics. I'm not clever like Simon and can do quizzes and have things popping up on the screen. I'm gonna have to sit with him and we'll do a streamwise StreamYard thing together. But yeah, Ben, well done for mentioning Beachwise. People saying goodbye to Barry. Simon, yes, you do have to. You can now accept members. You couldn't last week for some reason, but through the miracles of modern science, you're now able to. Someone did say Beachwise. Pingu gives us some feedback on the Chiltern's Rally, the Chiltern Hills vehicle rally. I think that's what we call it now. It used to be the Chiltern Hills Vintage Vehicle Rally, but if you look in the program, there was only 10 there wasn't even 10 vintage cars booked in, because sadly the people who own vintage cars are passing away. The cars are passing away. I will bring you an update on our family vintage car fairly soon. It's not good news. That's what happens. So the Children's Rally was the best one I've ever been to. Well, thank you. That's very touching. Well organised, plenty of space, and a great variety of cars to see and things to do. Yeah, we do our best. So the man who does the most, who's got the everyone pulls their weight, but the man who does everything is Adrian Fell. He really, without him, the thing wouldn't quite be the same. So he really puts a lot into it. So yeah, thank you. It's good and it was great. So many people there, so it was really nice. Matt does a fast show. It was fast show, wasn't it, this one? Yeah. Accepting members, are we, sir? Do we like members, do we, sir? Oof, suits you, sir. Very good, Matt. Very good. Ian Scragnut says Children's Rally was an excellent show. Well worth travelling from Leicester for. It's great. We had people from, obviously Simon's from Yorkshire. We had folks from Yorkshire, Leicestershire, Essexshire, Walesshire, all over. Brilliant. So people and other Kent, Derbyshire. So people from all over came to little old Aylesbury, in the middle of nowhere, and parked their cars in the field and had a bloody good day. It was bloody lovely. It was. My Archers audition is going to go really well, I think. So many cars to look at. Everyone I spoke to was very friendly. Another car show with no snobbery. Yeah, I did read something this week about an organised car show where people that the attitude was wrong. But I really do believe that car shows should be, no matter what your private thoughts are, car shows should be a safe, welcoming, friendly space. For some people, car shows are their social life. Particularly older people, who don't get out so much. But I think I think the Chiltern was, my view is it's good because we had a diverse mix of cars, diverse mix of people. I know everyone used this word diversity, but that's what we had, and it's not forced or it's not manufactured to be like that. It's just how it is. And I thought, and I must say, I thought the club stands were by and large brilliant. And I'm not just saying that 'cause Simon and I had a club stand there. So I did very little organisation with that myself. I had Austin and Chris Taylor up there sorting that out because I was at the other end getting people into the field so we didn't cause a tailback outside. But yeah, no, really pleased, and it is a friendly show, and it's not just for people looking cars. We've got such a massive area of entertainment to keep everyone happy. We try and please everyone. Matt thought the children had a great day out. Thank you. Yes, Simon. It was a great review. Typos are my nemesis, or was that typos? Yeah, there's always the next one. Yeah, next year. What are we? 18th of May, I think. Next year, Sunday the 18th of May, and we will get the bookings. I think we're going to actually get club stand bookings open really soon. Normally, I think we open the bookings for this year's at the end of October. But I think we'll do club stands even earlier this year because that's going to grow. I really believe that's going to grow. Matt says, "Yeah, hopefully we get some new parts, new homes." Pinky, absolutely. Carl Davies is here. Good evening, Carl. Carl's got a funny symbol by his name, as has Simon, because he's a channel member. So not just Simon that accepts members, I accept members as well, and that's not Ernest talking. So yeah, there we are. Good evening. Are you back from the Italian peninsula? I've been watching your you seem to be having a lovely time down there, mate. That's good. Carl is a slightly darker shade of white. Excellent. Renault 5 Turbo, GT Turbo, Simon's Gold Kart. They asked you for money. Yeah, all these cars are. I would love to get another XR3i, but they're a decent one. Is 5 figures. In fact, any sporty Ford is 5 figures upwards now. Even an XR2i. Wow. The prices they got. Again. Ian says the only downside of the show was this is the Chiltern Hills Rally for those that are just joining us, and Carl was there as well. Now Carl's here. Carl was also there. Drove 70 odd miles home with the roof down, and ended up with a sunburnt neck. Does anyone have a tips for this soft top novice to stop this happening? When I had my TF, I would actually wear a baseball cap backwards, so I looked like an absolute tit. But my neck didn't get sunburned. Just saying. Simone weighs back into the chat saying, "I learned to drive in a 205 1.9 diesel." Or was it a 1.7? She can't remember. Well, either way, I bet it sounded phenomenal. I bet it was very hard to stall. Yes, I learned to drive in a 1.7 Corsa diesel, and that was. And I said, "Why you got a diesel?" First time I've ever been in a diesel car. And I said to him, "Why have you got a diesel?" And he's like, "Oh, I get it because it's harder to stall." Well, fair enough. Simon can't help, even though he's also a former TF owner. But Simon, hard tops. The hard tops are really good on a TF or an F. Very rattly things. I think. Yeah, that's the Peugeot D. They were very, very agricultural. We'll have another little slurp. And we're up to 19 viewers. Well. So if you are here, no obligation, but do say hello. If it's just hello, you don't have to ask questions or pitch into any of the ridiculous things that I'm making people write. I'll pay those people later. Sort it out after. Where did we get to? Matt got sunburn on my elbow, even though I kept putting sunscreen on. Yeah, the sun really came out. When I got to the field at 6 a.m. that morning, it was drizzling, and I was like, "Oh my god, here we go!" But the sun came out, and boy, did it come out! Everyone was a bit crispy and tired at the end of the day. So Um, yes, Simone confirms very rattly things. People saying hello to Carl. Ben Gardner thinks the paint code for Tempest or X Power, I think they might be different paint codes actually, but yeah, X Power Grey is LEF. I will check that tomorrow because I may have one or two cars in the same colour. Simon from Smashing Piston is in a French mood. I've been looking at Laguna Coupe to replace the Civic. Ooh, ooh la la. Interessant, Simon. Yes, sorry, I said that in German. Interessant. Yeah, very good. Carl enjoyed it a lot. This is holiday now. We're talking about Naples is a bit rough and ready for Capri and Pompeii were awesome, marvelous, and I hope you had lots of pizza, pasta, and good wine or beer. Pompeii did look gorgeous, yes. Pingu has had several 205 GTIs, but I was still like another over a 5 GT. Okay, there we go. So I think the room is definitely pug oriented, or the majority would go pug. Ben's is on Penny. The Streetwise is your central locking newer than the late on mine's. The one with the round fob and it's broken. Yes, I've got the so mine's a facelift as well. Or, yeah, it's got the facelift dash. That's the only way of telling with a Streetwise, of course. Yeah, so it's got the Pectron. If you so the round fob is the Pectron, the rectangular fob is the Lucas. You can get those Pectrons. Now you've got to be careful because you go on eBay and you can look them up, but some of them are dodgy. But there's others that are good, and I think if you do get one, you obviously need to program it to the car. But I've got the software that will do that. So ping me a message, and I can help you out with that one. If not, ping me if you can't get hold of one. Ping me a message, and I'll put you in touch with a garage that will sort you out. But yeah, I believe P-Scan will program them, but I've never done it with one of those. So don't. Let's have a chat about it, maybe. But yeah, those Pectrons are. I know with Penny, my Streetwise, I have to press the boot release button about 20 times to get into it. And then other times, not driven the car for a week, walk up to it, press the boot opening button once, and it opens. They are moody. It's just one of those things. I found mine better actually. When I did the headlining, you have to take the sensor off to get the headlining out and refit it. And I cleaned the contacts for that sensor. It's the little thing up on the B pillar behind you, there on your head, behind there on your head when you're sitting in the car, and cleaning the contacts did help. So it could just be that. Carl Day has bought some 50% Smirnoff from Duty Free. Can't promise I won't get pissed tonight, but I enjoy it, mate. Sounds brilliant. 50% Smirnoff, eh? And Simon, we have to read this very carefully so it not to cause offence or to have this comment misconstrued. But Simon says, don't forget to flick the lick button. And he thinks that's right. Yeah, just don't flick the wrong thing. Like any beans, for example. But if you want to, it's fine. We live in a broad church. Oh my god, I'm so behind with these comments. Whoa. Bloody heck. Got all these people. I haven't done a live since January, and it's so lovely that all these lovely people have come to say hello and listen to me wittering on. People saying hello to and commenting at one another. Simon says the Crankcase is a nothing but dead serious docudrama. Yes, sorry, I forgot. That's what it is with crumpet. Simone likes a bit of crumpet, don't we all? Matt on a Wednesday is a genius of organisation, and confirms yes, it's Southport Beach. So yeah, don't go to Stockport Beach because Stockport's inland. And you'll look a tit, to be honest, if you go to Stockport Beach. I will probably end up going to Stockport Beach and just forget, and I can look like a tit really easily. Simon says something I can't fathom to Simone. People are saying hello to one another. Blah 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 blah. Ben Gardner wishes he had a license to trade on my streetwise in my 75 to Southport. Do you need a license for that? I thought I know you're a younger fella. It's a trailers. Do you have to do a special test for trailers? I should know this, but I don't. But yeah, 75 will tow a streetwise just light enough. Chris Taylor, another channel member, comes to the rescue. Good evening, Chris. Chris and I spent some time together on Monday, and the video of his MG BGT is out this evening. I haven't looked at how it's doing, but hopefully people are watching it because it's a bloody lovely car. But post Abingdon Weekender is the 3rd and 4th of August, which is good that I've now been told that, because I will have to decline another invite I've had to something else on the 4th of August. Because obviously I'll be going to both days because I'm going to help out. That'd be pretty epic. Ben says Matt, and then someone called Austin Carter-Fells. I don't know who Austin Carter-Fell is, but he says evening all. Good evening, Austin Carter-Fell. Very, very nice of you to join us. And if this is your first time watching Beards and Bangers, then welcome. I'm only kidding. We all know who Austin Carter-Fell is. 3rd and 4th of August, Julie confirms post Abingdon. Yeah, I need to get that booked up. And hopefully Brown will be fixed by then. Because I haven't been out in him for. I think the last time I drove Bram was to the Z Register photo shoot at Studley Castle, which we couldn't talk about at the time because it was all kept very quiet for the Rover 120 MG 100 launch at the NEC a few weeks later. Simon says hello to Chris and Austin. Julie asks Simone how she is feeling, which is lovely because it's not just about cars, it's about community, it's about more than just the cars, it's about the people. So we can ask each other how we feel. And the great thing is, if you think about where, so I'm trying to remember when Simon, I remember Simon commenting on one of my videos ages ago, and then I kept getting messages on, what was it, Meta Business Suite, this really weird app that if you create a Facebook page, your messages through that page go through this Meta Business Suite app, which I don't really like. And I kept getting either messages or comments from this Simon. Who's Simon Jeffries? I was watching this channel called Project MGTF and getting messages, and it took me a while to put the two together because I'm not very good at social media and apps and chats and all this stuff. I'm really not. And yeah, obviously now you know that Simon and I are good friends and colleagues. So yeah, brilliant. Where did we get to? Yes, LEF paint code 2, X-Power Grey and Tempest Grey seem to be the same colour, just different name for other models. Yeah, I think Tempest Grey was the pre-facelifts, I think. And Julie says, "Oh, Chris, you win." Yeah, Chris won on the post Abingdon Weekender dates. Chris will be helping to organise, so definitely on my books. Yeah. Simone's pretty better. Good. That's good, Simone. That's very good, and it makes Julie happy, and that's even better. I won't read that comment out, but it's Simon talking to his missus through my live stream, which is interesting. But I like that. Matt says, if you want to join convoys, join the Yachts 24 group, and we'll keep you updated. Also, Discord may be a good way to keep the community fully informed. Yeah, I know you and young Adam are exploring this Discord thing. I'm still getting my head around it. Pink says hello to Simone. People are saying real diversity is best. Yeah, yeah. Anything artificial or forced. If you force things, they break. If you let things grow organically, they taste better. Simon says, "Can we have the club stand near the main things next year?" Next year was a little odd having a big empty gap in the middle of the field. Yeah, that's we just need to use that. We need to plan the field better. But I've got some thoughts on that. But I won't. I obviously can't discuss our kind of inner workings too publicly. We've been expecting you, Doctor Evil. Oh God. I just jumped the comments again. Uh, Doctor Who, we have been expecting. I found your comment. Hello, Adam. How are you? Um, Becky and Glyn are here. Good evening. So this is our Welsh contingent, all the way in Caerphilly. See you on Saturday. Oh, you're going to Coventry. Oh, Coventry Motorfest. Yeah. So there's Coventry Motorfest on Saturday. So if you, I don't know if it's too late or not. But I think they're having a meeting tonight to sort things out. So I'm sure that if you look on the Rover 120 MG 100 Facebook group or page, there'll be details on there. Um, yes, but hello. I think this is the first time you've been on my live stream, Becky. So that's really good. Simon asked me a question. Have you got your tape measure to measure people to make sure that they are who they say they are? No, my tape measure is in the unit because I was measuring something earlier for working out quantities and stuff. But I'm just taking it on face value that these people are who they say they are, which is fine. I mean, when you're bankering up, asking for your PIN number and card number, that's normal, isn't it? Matt also says hello to Adam. Blah, 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 blah. Bob Simons is here. Good evening, Bob, and a shout out, and very rightly and very very topically, shout out to Chloe Simons, who got to do her first car show after just passing her driving test. Yeah, Chloe turned up in her own little Henry. So yeah, Chloe's got a 1.4 Mini R50, which was parked up very near to my Mini R50. So it was lovely to have two silver minis there. And Chloe just passed her test and came to the Chiltern Rally in her Mini, which was absolutely fantastic. So well done to you, Chloe, and nice that you're here, Bob. Very nice that you're here indeed. Chris Taylor says there has been a suggestion for Norman and Ernest to review on my white Rover. Definitely something I will need to discuss with them in the near future. Well, if someone can get a message to Norman and Ernest to come and review your white Rover, Chris, then I'm sure they would be delighted to hear from you. And Simon clearly agrees. Matt says if you search a certain Chinese selling site, you may find R3 parts. Yes, yeah. Matt has discovered that there are bits because, of course, the R3 didn't stop in 2005 when Rover stopped. It was the what Sake or Nanjing or whatever I can never remember which one it was. Basically rebuilt the Streetwise and called it the MG3SW. Now most of you will know that, but some of you won't. So you can get parts for these cars from this Chinese selling site that Matt's alluding to, which isn't possibly called Temu or Timu or however you say it. Rod Hull and Timu. Yeah, Bob Simons. Oh, congrats! More car folk. So Chloe is a car folk now, which is good. Stephen S. Paul is here from the other side of Pond. Hello, English people and other people associated with this stream. How are we all? I'm well. I can't speak for other people. Barry Scott says hello to everyone. Hello. definitely commented the night that other people. Simon says, don't forget, folks, if you are the kind of person who drinks liquids, then you can buy a Beards and Bangers mug. You can, and they're a limited edition because they may well change design in the very near future. What does help though is when someone gets mugs made for one's YouTube channel, namely me, it helps if you actually get them out of the car when you people who want mugs there. So yeah, I've made a bit of a folks pass with that one, but I will make it up to you. Becky and Glyn, you can have yours on Saturday. And we'll whoever else has asked for one, I won't mug them off this time. Did you see what I did there? Matt is only doing the Sunday of Post Abingdon this year. People saying hello to each other. Austin, we need to get Bram and Jenny together for photographs. We can get Bram, and Jenny. That would be really nice. Stephen S. Paul says hello to Simon. Julie says this is a courtesy message to let you know that you do not, for any reason, under any circumstances, at any point, in any way, ever, 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 in big capitals, shouty, need to read this post to save time. Thank you, Julie, for that. That's really. I was struggling to get through the comments. Yeah. Thank you so much. Simon says it was the micro post. You saw a micro on its way to yes. Yeah, no, I was going to see. Oh, who was I going to see? I was going up north and I saw the Silverstone micros from the rally school on the back of a transporter, and about 2 weeks later, I bought a micro. And Austin very shrewdly. He's a young man, but he's very shrewd. Is Austin very, very shrewd? He says, "What Bram, Simon?" Because there are two Brams. There's my Bram, and there's Adrian's Bram. So Adrian's Bram was at the Chiltern Hills Rally on the Beards and Bangers and Smashing Pistons stand, but my Bram wasn't because he's naked. He always naked. He is. But I'll bring you a Bram. There'll be a Bram. Yeah, Bram will become even more naked, hopefully fairly soon, and we'll video it. I will be Austin and we will have to do that video together because it's that's going to be a lot of work. But I won't say any more. I'll just keep you in suspenders. Simon calls his wife a tool, which is lovely. Austin's, oh no, you didn't. Blah, 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 losing track here. Pingu says he liked the MGB vid, but shame about the GoPro kamikaze. Yeah. Here is the GoPro. So I've got I did have 3 GoPros. So I got a GoPro which I use inside the car, and then I mount one on the bonnet and one on somewhere else on the car, and this one decided to exit the bonnet. So I released a little video this morning, a vignette, I think we can call it, of the GoPro. I managed to recover the footage, and I don't know what's happening. There's just a green things appeared at the top of the screen saying member. So is that YouTube telling me that I'm a member? Or has someone just become a member? We'll no doubt find out in a sec. Yeah, but I managed to. So the video was corrupted, but I ran it through a repair software and managed to get it. It was on half speed, so I sped it up. I thought, I just can release that as a video, and then the MGB video still turned out all right. I think. Don't know. Haven't seen how it's doing, but you check it out if you haven't done so already. First time I've driven MGB for must be 20 plus years. Really enjoyed it. Very nice MGB, yours, Chris. Very nice MGB. And Austin says we can have one either side of yours, Simon. Yeah, have the yellow in the middle and the 2 orange beaks flanking it. And I said flanking. And Simon's just got my smotometer's kind of going. So, because Simon is just said the word threesome. um, and now they're just pulling funny faces in a computer speak at each other. I think they're called emojis. Um, Ben's going to drop off. Ben, nice for you to be here. See you all hopefully in 46 days. I'll hopefully see you in 46 days. Simon ordered a new flag earlier. I also noticed they do printed deck cheers. I'm assuming you mean deck chairs, but you resist. Oh, shouldn't tell me things like that, Simon. That's the kind of stuff I'd go for. People saying goodbye to Ben. Chris Taylor's going to buy some ZR Express van panels on Sunday, so won't be at Coventry, but they are going to put on the white Rover to give it a bit of purple chocolate colour. Ooh, I have to say the word chocolate like that. Chocolate. Um, we did talk about this on Monday, Chris. Yeah, go for it, lad. Go for it. Matt says Rowie, or I don't know if is you're supposed to say it in a German pronunciation, because if it was German, Rover, basically. So is it a little Chinese play on the German word for rover? Rover. Rover parts may also fit the 75 ZT, but searching MG3SW will open up quite a list. Annoyingly, there's a lot of non-Rover stuff in the list. Yeah. Ian Scragnut says, sorry, Matt, I'm not breezing, but I'm just conscious we're gonna get. I'm not going to get to all these comments, and I might miss someone who said something and then gets all offended. But yes, yeah, Timu does throw up some really random stuff. Some of it's quite obscene, actually, and that's coming from someone who's quite hard to offend. Coming from me, who's quite hard to offend. Ian Scragnut says, "Where do I get a Beards and Bangers mug?" From me. I will put one by for you. Matt says they make a very nice milky coffee mug. Yeah. Yeah, I'll make sure I'm coming in Husley. I'm coming in the 190 on Saturday, because that car needs to go to more meets and shows, because I think I took it to one or two last year. And I'm really very proud of that car. Austin, who's on the chat somewhere, is also proud of that car, because he's done a lot of the work. The majority, I shouldn't say a lot, the majority of the work to it. So that car's going to get a bit more outage. I shouldn't say outage. That means it's going to break down. It's going to be out and about a lot more this year. Yeah, mugs. Just maybe someone kind ping me a message on Friday afternoon saying, "Rob, get the mugs out of the Streetwise. They're in the back of the Streetwise at the moment." Pingu asks if I've had much interest in the 260. Yeah, a couple of bites. I think the car market is a bit weird at the moment, because some things are flying out the door, like the MGF that Austin and I did a month ago. Was it a month ago? Yeah, it was about a month ago. That went like that. And then Doris, the 1.8 turbo, which is an absolutely solid car. Sills are clean. It's completely clean, this car. We've ironed out any little faults or problems it had. It's weird. It's not going anywhere. So I think the 260 will actually go first, if I'm honest. We've got someone who is interested, but they're trying to just sort their. It's 260 is it's an investment. You've got to be sure, and we want to make sure this guy is sure. But he's not confirmed yet, so it's still if someone comes along tomorrow with the cash, they're having it. Now I see why I got a member message at the top of my screen, because Julie has welcomed herself to Basic. So Julie, welcome as a channel member. I need to change that. Change that. I don't like Basic. It needs to be something a bit warmer and fluffier than that. Matt says, "Ooh, mounting on the bonnet, not in this weather. It's been lovely down here today, so definitely a day for mounting on the bonnet." Julie is the green thing. Um, Ian loved the MGBGT video, Rob. I've always loved them, and I'm also a fan of the rubber bumpers. I like them. I'm gonna get hate. I'm gonna get hate. I told Austin this yesterday evening, and he was like, "What?" Because they're heavier apparently. But I don't know. There's something about the look that I like. And a lot of the chrome bumper ones have wire wheels. I'm not a big wire. I really don't like wire wheels. Don't ask me why. I just don't like them. Um, but thank you for the love on the MGBGT video. Chris's MGB is great. It actually runs properly, unlike another MGB I've seen all too often. I don't know which MGB you're talking about, Simon. Maybe Alan Jeffries needs to talk to Chris Taylor. Wow, that's a combination and a half. Alan Jeffries and Chris Taylor do MGBs. That could be a thing. That could be a thing. Where do we get to? Bob says Montego's still broken. Yeah, that's sure. Shame we didn't see that. I think I saw it at Rustival, didn't I? But not since. 'Cause I thought you were going to be at Cowley, but it was broken then as well. Montego's still broken. Trying to get it done for MGs in the park, which is a week Sunday, I think. But honestly, don't know what's wrong with it. Bloody cars. Becky gives Matt some Welsh advice. Wear your wellies. I mean, wellies are obviously given if you live in Wales. Chris says, "Are you going to send off the GoPro to a repair tuber? See if they can fix it as a collab? I think where my MGB was a little dusty, dirty, it might have adhered that too well. Yeah, it's my own fault. I've got in my little rucksack thing. I've got tethers, and I could have tethered it, but I didn't because I was excited about driving that car. But yeah, I think, and I will approach some other YouTubers about repairing this GoPro, but I think just you know, as a layman sitting here looking at it, and thank you, Chris, for getting it off the road for me. But I think my verdict is this GoPro is fucked. Technical term. So don't blame your bonnet, Chris. It was my foolishness and childish excitement at driving a British sports car. Timu, Simon says. Simone has never used Timu, and I never intend to. Yeah, I bought a drone. I'll get the drone actually. I think Simon's also got this same drone. This drone was about 35, 40 quid, something like that. This fucking thing tried to kill me. It's it kept doing that. It needs to go in the bin. What a waste. I might as well just chuck 40 quid out the window on the M40. Same result. Chris Taylor, the MG. I know. I obviously know this because you sent me a message yesterday about this, Chris, and I'm glad that you and the car seem to be okay. The MGB got rear-ended yesterday. I say, and then the culprit drove off without leaving. Now if you do something like that, just put your hands up. Sorry, are you okay? First, are you okay? That was my fault. I went into the back of you. It doesn't take a lot. Culprit drove off. So Chris's MGB got shunted. Culprit drove off without leaving details. All is well then. The rubber bumper saved the car. 100%. Zero damage. Good. And I know you're okay, Chris, as well. And Austin says, and Husley will get X love. Yeah, Husley's going to get some love and content because we don't. There's very little content on Husley now because there's not been much necessity. But yeah, Austin is tantalizing your taste buds there by saying that Husley will get some extra love. So I won't say what it will be, but things will reveal themselves. And Simon says to Chris, "Was it me who rear-ended the engine?" No, it wasn't. I was in Aylesbury when Chris got rear-ended. This is if you didn't know this channel and what we're talking about, you could rock up on this live stream and go, "What the what the flip's this about? And then this sort of steamy music cutscene, and yeah. Anyway, it'd be like the lighting in. I don't know if anyone's watched the original adaptation of Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, with the one with my hero Alec Guinness as George Smiley. Um, uh, and he's on the trail of no, it was Smiley's people, and he goes to a club in Hamburg called Der Blau Diamant, the Blue Diamond, and it's really seedy club. So the lighting would go like that, and people just be wondering what the hell we're talking about. Anyway, I'm just waffling. Lucky Husley, yeah, Lucky Husley. Well, he's yeah. Matt's got an image in his head now. Chris is right. Yeah, I would have stopped, and it was an Iveco tipper van. I've definitely not got an Iveco tipper van. Smashing Piston says they should buy the 260 for the wheels. Yeah. So Simon, when I bought Henny, I thought that color wheel, kind of a bronze. I guess it's bronzy, like a bronzy color with a sparkle in. I thought that'll work with X Power Grey, and it does. It really, really works. So yeah, Henny's old wheels. Excuse me. Henny's old wheels now on the 260, and they look ace. So well done, Simon. Rubber bumpers and lowered is great. Yeah, because you've got the. Well, I do like the higher ride height. It's very forgiving. Watch the video. I'll explain why. Save time now. MGB rubber bumper has grown on Simone. I think you can get a freeze spray to. Oh no, rubber. Sorry. Yeah, no. I've always liked them, especially the Mimosa yellow rubber bumper bees. I think they just look great. Excuse me. Chris has an MGB Haynes manual, so more than happy to play with more cars. Yeah, I've got an MGB Haynes manual, so it's great. Simone needs to check the timing on TC the Cortina Mark III estate. Have you got a time? Have you got the strobe for doing that? And then Ian says to Chris, this is the one reason why I love the bumpers. I once saw one get rear-ended like you, and there was no damage. The Corsa that hit it didn't fare so well. Yeah, it's the same as a. I remember my dad had a couple of Volvo 740s in the 80s and early 90s, and a Fiesta, a Mark 2 or 3 Fiesta went into the back of him, not that quick. And the Fiesta was trashed, and Dad just got out of the car and wiped the paint off the bumper and was like, there's no point swapping details. There's nothing wrong with mine. Rubber, chunky, heavy rubber bumpers do, yeah, they do really do what they're supposed to do. So the Americans got that right. Where are we? Drone wars, drone in the bin wars. Here we are. Bring your beach wars. Bring your Timu drones to Beachwise for a battle, or we just toss them into the sea. Yeah. Where we get to people saying hello to Husley versus Lackapil ZT drag race. Definitely. I think yeah. Your ZT drives different to Husley. It's interesting. Steering's a lot lighter. Yeah, I didn't push yours quite as hard as I pushed. I think I probably did get it. Probably did get it up above 6,000 RPM a couple of times. But yeah, it just felt different. We need to drive them again. You need to drive Husley and we swap over, because that would seem to work. Simone hasn't got a strobe checker time, but a friend has. That's good. A friend with a strobe is a friend indeed. I think that's a saying from the Bible. Simon asks Chris Taylor's overdrive work, and I can confirm, yes, it does. I was having great fun with the overdrive in Chris's MG, and I forgot to mention that in the video actually. But yeah, the overdrive was very good. Chris's rubber bumper MGB is good on most MGBs, but there is the odd color car where it just doesn't look quite right. But glad to have mine. Yeah, absolutely. Could be a different tale today, couldn't it, young man? If you didn't have a rubber bumper MGB, God, you could have had a dented whatnot. Simon has a stroke, doesn't work. Droning on again. Yeah, I'm droning on. I don't know if anyone else is. Stephen S. Paul says the rubber bumpered MGs always rubbed him up the wrong way. Boom, boom, boom. Becky to Simon says happy shopper drone wars could end in carnage. Would be a good laugh though. Yeah, we'll leave the droning to Dr. Evil. He is the drone. I can't call him Drone Boy anymore because at the Chiltern Hills Rally we did have a chap, young man who's called Drone Boy. So, Adam, I'm gonna have to give you a new title now. Chris just confirms what I've just said about the overdrive on his MGB. Matt is convinced Simon is just another one of those voices in my head. He always writes what I'm thinking. Some people are like that, or it could be just a brother from a different mother. Bum. Carl says you can test the ZS. And yeah, I need to do that. I need to test that ZS. That thing is mental. It's lovely. Drag strip. Oh, Bob Simons comes up with a very good idea. Drag strip day at Santa Pod could be a good idea. And that's not a Santa Pod is Wellingborough way, isn't it? Or is that Rockingham? Someone tell me where Santa Pod is. Can't remember. Forgotten. No one wants a dentity whatnot. No, you certainly don't. Very really make your eyes water. Yeah, I think. See, I did watch Simon's review. Simon has reviewed the Temu drone thing. Look at it. Bloody awful thing. Adam, pure evil is Adam. Says I've had to rebuild. He's not Adam's not pure evil. I'm not wasn't that's his handle on here. I've had to. I'm not saying Adam is evil in any. He's actually a very nice young man. I've had to rebuild the front of 2 Rover 25s. Maybe I should be making a rub. Oh, when Adam says things like this, there's a glimmer of a chance that it might happen. A rubber bumper 25. Can you imagine it? Can you absolutely imagine it? Like a streetwise with actual rubber, that real dense, vulcanized rubber. Oh, magnificent. Chris Taylor prefers lack appeal over dense. We know that, Chris. Lack appeal doesn't lack appeal. I think lack appeal's patina. I'm sure many of us have got a bit of lack appeal on our prized possessions, and even Husley. I'm saying he doesn't need anything doing. His roof is starting to go. So if you've got lack appeal, you're in the know. I'm pressing buttons wildly here, and it's all going wrong. Or Adam says, do I make a front bumper out of carbon, a couple of inches thick? My goodness, and you can have Han Solo in the carbon on the butt. Do it. Yeah, I like that. Santapod video we cool. There was a YouTube channel, DIY Mike, who built a drag Civic with eBay parts. That was a task. I can well imagine. Chris needs to get his Viz motors on the Lack Appeal Edition ZT before we race, and it's also like remind me to look at. I've got a spare set of Viz motors somewhere. I don't know where they are, but they'll be around. I will look out for them for you. They might be no good, but I did test them. They were good. They were good. Just nag me about that, and I'll drop them round next time I'm in your neck of the woods, which is quite frequently because I work around there. So Adam gets all excited saying, when are we doing Rovers to Santa Pod? Well, whenever. Chris has put another comment. We're at the bottom. I've actually caught up, which is quite remarkable. It's quite remarkable. Yes. Have I got a rad fan for? Oh, you need a rad fan for your ZT, don't you? Because it's catching on something. I don't. I'll ask around. I ask around for you, Chris, even though you're from Oxfordshire, which you can't help, but I'll ask around. The White Rover. Oh, the White Rover. I still ask around. Um, well, I've been going for an hour and a half. Goodness me. Yeah. Well, Simon says both my road products aren't clutching enough for that abuse yet. No, don't let me drive. It's probably best that I don't drive any of your current Rover products. I don't know if Austin is still here, but yeah, Austin knows what my drive. He's got a particular way of putting it about my uh, particular way of putting it about my cars. Yeah, blimey, time for a cut. Yeah, it is. I'm gonna. I need to eat. Yeah, I'm gonna have a very late dinner, and I'm gonna be late for bed, and I'm gonna wake up at 5 past 5 tomorrow, which is gonna be terrible. But yeah, yeah, haha, red line and dump the clutch then. Well, if I'm sure I've probably not spoken about everything I want to spoke about. A lunatic. Austin says I'm a lunatic. Yeah, I guess I am a bit of a lunatic when I drive sometimes. Thank you, Austin. Yes, I think that's. Oh, Simon reminds everyone to like the like button. Yes, the thumbs up one. Imagine Norman Butler doing that. It's a Norman Butler way of doing a thumbs up. And Bob says a comment that makes me smile, and I will not respond to it uh, because, yeah, you never know. You never know. But it wouldn't be me and Simon. But yes. Uh, well, thank you for watching. You've been a lovely audience. If you yeah, hopefully, if you've got any, always please get into. Always happy to people to get in touch. Facebook group is blossoming. It's growing all the time. I think we're over 300 members now. Members. Um, so yeah, if you ever anyone wants to get in touch, just go on Facebook, search Beards and Bangers, and it's the group, not the page. The page, I don't prune that garden that much, but the Facebook group is very active. Yeah, I've got a great team helping. So Simon, Austin, and Sam help me manage that group, which is marvelous because I'm quite forgetful with that kind of stuff. But yes, do get in touch if you want. Everyone to ask anything, doesn't matter, car related or anything related. Get in touch. Love to hear from people. Thank you for watching. And I'll try and see you in about a month's time. Obviously, there'll be videos and car shows and meets where I'll see a lot of you anyway. So, well, have a good evening and goodbye for now. Goodbye.